Hello everyone, welcome to day 9 of Creator Sauce. Today we are going to redraw this. This is a video from Faster Than Normal. Adobe's downfall has finally started. In this thumbnail, the challenging part to make is this, but believe me, it will be very simple. I have downloaded this Adobe logo from PNG Wing. The link's in the description. You can download it from there. Let's get started. Let's add a frame. Let's just rename it to day 9. So now we'll first draw this graph which is going down. So we'll take the pen tool and let's just first move this frame over to here and let's start drawing. Okay, it is coming down, going up a bit, then coming down, going up, coming down, up, down, down, and then goes up, down. Yeah, this one and then here, sorry, that looks like a mountain. Well, this looks like a mountain too, but it's a natural graph. So since we have to color this, right? So what we can do is we can again take the pen tool and start, not just start, we can continue drawing with this. Just let's make sure that these lines are out of the frame. So now let's add a fill to this. Okay, let's add a fill. The fill should be red as well as the stroke should be red. But for the fill part, what we'll do is we'll make the fill go a little bit black. And let's increase the stroke weight too. The 10 will be good. Since this vector is not inside the frame, let's move it inside a frame. And this looks way better. Now, what I'm going to do is, let's just make this fill a more black. Yeah. So this graph is ready. Let's just lock it. Okay. And let's make this background color. If you have been following with me for the past 8 days, you'll know how to make this background. It's a simple radial gradient. Let's add it. Radial. Let's make it blue. Blue. Darker shade of blue. This one. And then let's make this way darker shade of blue. Something like this. Yes. This looks good. Now let's move it here a little bit. And let's move this out a little bit. Sorry, accidentally moved the mouse. Or let's move it like this. And move this like this. Okay, now we'll come to this graph again. As you can see, there's a glossy effect. For that, we'll just make the fill a little bit transparent. Now you can see that thing is coming up. We'll make it almost 50%, or let's make it 60%. Now this looks good. Let's just make this thing now, which is, you think, the hardest part. Let's move this Adobe logo over here. And now all the transparent parts are gone. Only these red parts are visible of the Adobe logo. Now we'll add a curved radius. So let's add it. Let's make it 60. Okay. Let's make it to 75. So now the logo is perfect. let's just lock this logo. And for making it look like it's broken, we'll use masking. So for that, let's create some shapes. Let's first create this shape. Okay, let's just try to make this from here to here to here and here. One shape is ready. So let's just decrease its weight to 1 and stroke to black. Okay, now this shape is ready. Let's just make this one. Okay, let's take pen tool again. Let's start making. Let's make this, 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 and it come I think till here. Yes, up till O. Then let's just make it something like this. Okay. So because of that accidental click, now let's make it look like this. And let's just make it something like this. Okay. So this part is ready too. Now let's make this part. For this part, we'll make something else. I'll show you what we'll do. First, we'll make this part. So let's take the pen tool again. Let's start drawing. I think it's like this. Okay, it comes inside once again and then it goes like this. Outside the shape can be anything, but inside it should be precise. So now it's like this. Now let's make this shape. What I'll do is I'll quickly make a rectangle till here. Now let's just copy this shape and paste it again. Let's add a fill. Okay, let's add a fill and move it upside this rectangle. Let's move it back. Just upload the Adobe logo. Let's copy this thing again and paste, adding a fill of black. Now, what I'll do is I'll select these two shapes and I'll subtract. As you can see, that thing is subtracted. Now I'll move this rectangle backward and select this shape and let's subtract it again. As you can see, the shape is subtracted and now we have something like this. Yeah. So now what I'll do is I'll quickly copy the Adobe logo and paste it 4 times. Okay, now let's select this logo and this vector. First of all, I'll add a fill to the vectors. Just add a fill. So now after adding the fill, what are we going to do is just move this vector behind this image and let's select it and right click, use as mask, and one mask object has been created. Let's see what it looks like. It looks like this. Okay. Now let's just move this vector behind this and let's select them and right click, use as mask. Let's move this vector to mask and the last one mask. Okay. Okay, I think of this vector we haven't added any fill. Okay, now see our whole logo is visible. So now let's just break it apart. Let's move it a little bit here, not too much, and let's just rotate it a little bit like this. Now let's select this mask group and move it a little bit to the left. And you can see the magic. Let's select this too. And now let's select this group and let's rotate it. Let's now select this group and let's move it here and rotate it. Let's just move this group Okay, let's rotate it like this. Okay, as you can see, now the cracked logo has been made. Let's just add the shadow effect to all of our groups. So let's just close these guys and let's select all of them. Let's add effects, drop shadow, blur effect, increase this transparency to, let's say, 50. Okay, now this thing is ready. Now for the platform, right? We can make the platform, but not exactly like this, but something similar to this. So first of all, let's make an ellipse and let's just do it something like this. The center behind the Adobe logo. And first of all, we can group these things so that we can move them easily. And for the platform, we can make a rectangle. And let's move the rectangle behind this ellipse. Okay, let's lock this group. And now let's color the ellipse. Okay, so first, let's color this ellipse with something like the platform, which is a darker shade of brown. And let's just make this one fill to a lighter shade of brown. And let's add a linear gradient. Okay. Why a linear gradient? So that we can show the user that some light is coming, right? So let's add this to here and this to here. And we are good to go. We have the platform ready. Let's just add this text of minus 35. Okay, let's add minus 35 percentage. Let's change the font size and the font style to Roboto, size to 128, and it should be black. Rotate and keep it here. I'll further increase the size to somewhat near 170. And let's just reduce the group size to this much or this much. Now let's add a red colored layer first. Now add a linear gradient and add this color. The last thing is to add a stroke of red color only and increase its weight like this. So the weight should be 8. And now let's change it to bold or maybe medium. So now our thumbnail is ready, but I'll add something more to this. Let me add design this. Okay. And let's change this font size to 128 or 96. 96 will do good. Now our thumbnail is ready. As you can see, this was very challenging to make, but using some masking techniques, we made it in a very easy manner. So please let me know, guys, did you like this or not? Whether it was easy or not. More thumbnails coming soon. Let's see you tomorrow. Till then, take care. Bye bye.